What's up, guys? My name is Matt, and I sometimes record YouTube videos and post them on the internet. And today, I need your help. Today, I need you guys to tell me, what cell phone company do you like? Because we're starting this off with the idea that um, I looked up online because I was wanting an LG phone because every phone that I've ever owned has been an LG phone. Oh, of course, now I'm gonna get a fax, of course, but every phone I've ever owned is an LG phone, and I haven't seen them for a little while, so I was like, I need to get online and get an LG phone. To find out that LG stopped making phones in 2019, which would have been the last year that I had or the last year they made one was the year that I got this stupid Motorola. So that makes me really sad to think that I could have had one last LG phone, but instead I got stuck with this crappy Motorola, which it's just a cheap phone, so that's why it's crappy. I'm not really mad at Motorola. They haven't done really anything. The company itself, the phone really wasn't horrible. It was just cheap. Um, So I'm stuck with this dilemma. I have one of two options that I'm going to do, which would be A, just get a brand new phone, period, that's not LG, or B, LG's last phone they made was an LG G8. Um, I had the LG 1 through 6. That's how many fucking LG phones I've had in my life. Literally had LG 1 or LG G1 or I don't even remember if it was just called LGG or if it was literally called LG G1. But regardless, I had LG G2, G3, G4, G5, G6, and then that's when I went to prepaid and I got an LG something. It was something cheap though. And then when I went to upgrade again, they didn't have any LG phones at the store, so I just went with Motorola, not realizing that that was because LG stopped making phones. So the last phone that was made was the LG G8, which is a full-blown cell phone. Like, it was made for a normal plan. It came out at like $998 brand new or something like that. Well, nowadays, because they're already, a few years old, not a lot, but they are still a few years old, you can get the 128 gigabyte version of the phone for $120. So now I'm confused, or now I'm stuck. I'm like, I really want this last LG phone. It will only last a couple more years before it will be really old, and then it will be pretty out of date. But still, if I can rock another 2 years, 128 gigabytes. This thing is only 16 gigabytes, and that's why it drives me crazy. So I would be happy with 32 gigabytes of internal storage. But then 128 is like, I would really like that. Um, and if I don't go with an LG phone, if I go down the route of just saying screw it, I'm just going to get a different phone in general, then I need help because I've had this Motorola. I wasn't a huge fan of it. If I had to go with another Motorola, my life wouldn't end. It'd be fine. But naturally, if I'm gonna have to choose a different phone brand, I don't want to just stick with Motorola because this is the first one I got. Because I do know a lot of people out there um, like Samsung and the Galaxy series. Because I've just never had a Galaxy phone. I've only had LG phones, so I don't know exactly. So my main objective of this is like if anybody out there has any opinion about a phone manufacturer, not particularly a phone in general, just like this is a Motorola phone, this is a Motorola something, and I couldn't even tell you what it is. It's cheap and it cost me $80. Um, so I'm just looking more for Motorola, um, Galaxy, whatever else is out there. I don't know, TLC or TCL or something. I know there's a few other phone brands out there. Like I said, I don't know nothing about them or anything like that. So if anybody's got any 2 cents they want to throw in there, and honestly, I don't care about iPhone. No offense, I've never had an iPhone. The only experience I've ever had with an iPhone product was a iPod Nano that I had, which was the tiny little square. Oh, actually, I had the Nano Touch because mine came with a tiny little screen, which was pointless. It lasted for a year, and then it had a software glitch that made it so it wouldn't work anymore. So that was as far as I ever got with Apple, and that's as far as I ever plan to ever get with Apple. So please don't suggest getting an iPhone because I don't want one. But we're about to time travel, guys. I'm pretty sure it happens at 2 in the morning. I have to go look this up real quick. Yes, okay. So when the clock says 2 in the morning, it's going to change to 3 in the morning because of stupid time change bullshit, which shouldn't exist to begin with. Oh yes, can you please? Oh no. I don't think it's going to work now. Damn it. Alright, my phone's so fucked up. Anyways, um, yeah, so we lose an hour tonight, which would mean I'm only working a 7-hour shift instead of 8, but they still pay me for 8, which is nice. And actually, besides that, I brought my $1,500 gaming computer to work. No, actually, let me rephrase this. It's a $1,500 paperweight because it's been broken for about 2 years, and so literally all it's done is sat and collected dust. I mean, like, look how dusty the inside of that looks. It's hard to tell, but I'm promising you that everything in there is just coated in a thick layer of garage dust because it's been sitting out in my garage. And I brought it here today because I'm gonna douse it in alcohol, get it nice and drunk. Actually, I need to try to get this thing to work. What I'm actually fearful of, though. Okay, looks like it. I started removing a few screws out of something in here, and I realized that maybe I shouldn't have done it because now I've lost the screws because I did it a few days ago, and I'm pretty sure I remember stuck them in my pants pocket and I didn't take them out, and everything's already gone through the washer and dryer. So it's either in the washer, in the dryer, or gone. So shouldn't have done it. I should have also realized that this was going to require a screwdriver. Uh-oh, look it is. It's about to turn 2 o'clock. We got 20 seconds. We're about to time travel, guys. This is crazy. I've always wanted to time travel before. It's actually to say that this clock even is up to date enough to change when it's supposed to change. Um, Here it goes. 3 in the morning. Yep, I did. Wow, look at that. Just like that, it's 3 in the morning. I've been recording now for an hour, even though the video is only 8 minutes long. It's been an entire hour. Hey, it's time for me to run night audit. What do you know? Here, I thought I was ahead of schedule. Now I'm behind all of a sudden. Now, I've explained this before, and I'm sorry to anybody out there who doesn't care about computers or doesn't know anything about computers, because this is probably going to be boring for you. But, so I had this computer. I spent a lot of money on it many years ago, and even though it's not, quote-unquote, to value today, it's still actually worth a lot more than you would think it would be, because it was actually built pretty beefy when it got built, so that when it got older, like nowadays, it would still be in good shape. It would still have enough gaming power to do what I would need it to do. I got it built. I had it built for the idea of it being stout in the future still. And I've had computer issues with it for about in the 5 years that I've owned it, I've had issues with it for the entire 5 years that I've had it. All different stuff, but I'm almost starting to wonder if they all are actually related to each other in the long run. But what initially happened was the dusty ass graphics card. Originally, the hard drive crashed, and I lost all my games and everything on it, which is not really a huge big deal. It's a cheap hard drive, and I should have replaced it when I built the computer. I could have went online and literally spent $100 and gotten one that was twice as good. But anyways, so I lost everything, and ever since then, everything kind of started acting funny. The computer would kind of start. It would be playing, and all of a sudden the screen would go black, but you could tell there's still sound and stuff going on in the background. But the screen would go into like sleep mode, but it wasn't in sleep mode. It was what I thought to be my graphics card going bad. But so I kind of stopped using it. I went off and on with it. Sometimes I'd use it, sometimes I'd let it sit for a while. And every time I turn it back on after a few months of letting it sit, it would always work perfectly fine. So I'd start using the shit out of it, and then all of a sudden I'd stop using it for one reason or another, or I would stop using it because it would stop working one way or another. And finally got to the point where it just stopped working, which was this last time I was using it. I had used it for about 3 months. I was using it merely only to edit videos, and it didn't even like that. It just crashed on me completely, and every time I turned it on, it gave me no picture. So naturally, knowing that my graphics card is the thing that gives me picture, I kind of just assumed, okay, well, my graphics card's dead, so I just let it sit for the last 2 years. But it comes to find out that there's actually a possibility that my graphics card is not the issue. And so I'm just here now today. I brought it for the little time that I actually have to work on it since time change and everything, to actually clean it and make it nice looking again, just to clean it up enough to throw it all together tomorrow, or not throw it together, throw it back together tonight after I'm done cleaning it. But practically tomorrow when I'm at home, I can test it and see if it works. If it comes on, seems to have worked, then I might know how to fix it and keep it at least going for a few more months before eventually something else breaks. But if it doesn't work and it needs further assistance, that's when things are going to get much more complicated and a lot harder even for my own side of things, because I've got limited knowledge and I have only the parts that I have. And unfortunately, when it comes to computer parts and when they go bad, if you're trying to test them, it's nice to have backup parts to use to help the testing process, especially if you're like, hey, like, I'm pretty sure my graphics card's what's bad, and if I had a secondary graphics card, I could just thrown it in the computer and seen if it worked, but I don't have one, so I'm stuck with, trying to do the best I can. Really, the other thing is if I can get this, big mess of alcohol. Big mess of alcohol everywhere. Dab it, make sure not to press too hard. Still not perfect, but it is much, much better than it was. Alright, well, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you could leave a comment below telling me what your favorite phone company would be, I'd be much appreciated. And we'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Thank you for spending your time with me. If you want to subscribe to the channel, you can go ahead and click that circular thingy over there. If you want to check out the other videos from 2022, you can check out the playlist up here. It will take you to all the videos from 2022. Thank you for spending your time with me. I have a computer to continue diving into and a night audit to go run. So, thanks and goodbye.